cast your mind back 12 months ago, we did a really cool fishing video where we were using a flathead imitation soft plastic, and we caught heaps of flathead. We got a huge amount of inquiries from people that were pretty fascinated about this concept. And as you know, we just went out in our local waters on the kayak and we caught heaps with something that looks a little bit weird and wacky. So move on 12 months and we've now got a new version of this soft plastic that is in a TPE material. So this is the original one here, and you can see obviously we caught a lot of flathead with that. The only difference being is it's not very stretchy and not very durable. So what they've done now is they've created one in a TPE material, and what it now is a very stretchy and durable material, similar to what you might see on something like a Z-Man grub. So the good thing about these is you get a lot more action, they're semi-buoyant, and obviously very, very durable. So what we're going to do, a bit similar to what we did 12 months ago, is we're going to jump on the Hobie kayak, we're going to get out in our local waters, and we're going to have 2 rods with these out. So one will be working in my hand and the other will be the sleeper, and hopefully we can get some flathead on these FLATHEAD 80 flathead imitation soft plastics. Should be a fun episode, so let's get out there and let's get cragging. All right, it's low tide this morning, so I'm going to walk this kayak. We've got the chill cheaters on, otherwise it'd be a nice cold start to the day. It's getting shallower there, yeah? All right. And coming in will be heaps easy, so. Bit of waves today. All right, so we're just pedaling out to our spot now. Strange conditions today, so very low winds are predicted, but we've got here and the wind is a lot higher than what was planned. Hopefully over the next hour or two this will really flatten out, because we were expecting glass-like conditions today, but that's what it is. The other thing today is it is the full moon, and that can make fishing really unpredictable at times. I've certainly had days on the water over that full moon period, so usually 24 hours on each side. That can shut things down. Almost at our spot now, we're just fishing in 4.5 meters deep. It's currently peak low tide right at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to get those 2 soft plastics out. As I said, one will be working in my hand and the other will be the sleeper just drifting on the bottom. We're pretty much in prime spot now, so we're going to stop here. All right, so first of all, I'm going to put this rod out. So this is just a standard Shimano T-curve. That's a 2 to 5 kilo rod. I use this as my sleeper rod because it's got almost a full butt section there, so it sits in the rod holder really nicely. And as you can see there, we've got one of those new FLATHEAD 80s. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast it over the side and work out which way that's drifting in terms of which rod holder that goes on. Now in terms of jig head, I've got that on a 1/8 of an ounce. We've got a little bit of lump here, so we're bouncing up and down a little bit. If it really flattens out later, I might drop that down to a 1/12, but that's just going to be dragging on the bottom. And obviously that's where flathead like to be. They're an ambush predator. They like to sit on the bottom with their really awesome camouflage colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast this one out to this way just for now. Okay, and what we'll do is I usually like to give that a minute and just make sure that the line actually goes out that way, because with your sleeper you don't ever want your line to be slack. You want it to be so it's just drifting along, and if you get a little nibble you're going to see that straight away. So that's a really important thing to do. That's looking okay, so we'll put that in the rod holder pretty much from Port Melbourne through to Geelong, and today we're in the Werribee area. You know, you're going to catch a lot of flathead between sort of 35 and maybe 55 centimeters. You don't tend to get too many much bigger than that. So, you know, the gear that we're using is really built for that sort of stuff. So 2 to 4 kilo rods, got the 2 to 5 kilo sleeper, which is perfect. And then what I'm going to be doing in the other hand is I've got this one. So this has been my go-to rod in the bay for some time now. So this is just the Shimano X Pride. This is a 4 to 8 pound or 2 to 4 kilo equivalent. Really nice and lightweight. It's got that hollow carbon butt section. So I really like this rod. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this one in my hand with flathead. You're going to be casting out, let it sink to the bottom, long pauses, slow hops, basically keeping it at that bottom in that strike zone. And hopefully between these 2 setups here, we'll be able to get into a few fish. So we're really in that cold period now. Winter's really starting to kick in. So this can be a challenging time of year for fishing. It's a little bit sloppy out here, but you know what? We're going to give it our best shot. We've got some really cool soft plastics, and hopefully we can catch some really cool fish as well with that. So, all right, fingers crossed. There we go. There, we've got a fish. Yeah, got him. Here we go. First fish, and we've got a flathead. There we go. I was actually just adjusting the rod in the rod holder, and the rod just went doo-doo-doo-doo, and there you go. We've got our first fish. So, all right, so there we go. So there's our first flathead on the flathead imitation soft plastic. Let's get him back in the water, see if we can find one a little bit bigger. There he goes. Oh, oh, there's another one. That one might be on. So I've got this rod holder in a much better position now. And yeah, this one's on. Here we go. And they're all about that same size at the moment. So there's another one. And you can see he's a little bit on that smaller size. So we'll get that soft plastic out of his mouth and hopefully we can find an upgrade. All right, straighten that up. And the good thing about these soft plastics is they're a lot more durable and stretchy than the original ones. Now, the original ones worked fine because we caught heaps with those, and I know lots of people went out and got stuck into them and said they also caught plenty. But I think now to have something that's got that really, here we go, we're on again, that really durable material just means that as you're getting these nibbles, is he a little bit bigger, this one? Oh, he's definitely bigger, this one. Oh, this is a better fish. That's good. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a better one. There you go, there's another one there. So he's a little bit bigger. All right, mate, all right, we'll get you on your way. I know you're keen to go. Getting under the yak, he's gone. It's funny, at this stage, we're catching them all pretty much on the sleeper because what we're doing is we're catching one, as we're releasing it, that one goes off. As we then release that one, the other one goes off. So we're not really working them in a hand. I mean, if we really wanted to, what we could do is we could just use one rod and just work it, which probably makes a bit of sense, but I'm really hoping we can kind of work through these little ones and get stuck into a few. Really around here, I'd love to catch a few over that 45 centimetre mark. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, this is a better sized flathead. This one's nice and heavy. So finally, we've been working really hard for them. Got an excuse to get the EnviroNet out now. Oh, this is a really good one. That's more like it. Yes. I've got the large EnviroNet today because great nets, they just do the minimal amount of impact to fish, which is exactly what we want, especially if you enjoy catch and release fishing. That's exactly what we're after there. Look at that. That is a much bigger one. And there in his gob there is the flatedge 80. So what a magnificent fish. I might spin him around there. And look at that in his gob. Absolutely awesome. All right, so we just put him on the brag mat. All right, so you can see that there, it's about 48 centimeters. So that's a beautiful flathead. And that one there is going on ice. All right, so the technique is really easy for this style of fishing. So what we're running on here, I've got 10-pound braid, and then I've got one rod length of 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and on the end of that, I've got a 1/8 of an ounce jig head in size 2/0. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna cast that out, and we're gonna let that sink to the bottom. Okay, that might take 4 or 5 seconds. We're only fishing in 5 meters deep today, so that's not gonna take very long. You'll clip over the bail arm, and then what you're gonna do is just gonna wind in a little bit of that slack, so that way that line is nice and tight. Now, a flathead are a bottom dweller. They're a really good ambush predator. They sit on the bottom, and what they're doing is waiting for bait, or in this case, our soft plastic, just to flutter over in the area, and they can't resist something like a wriggler tail just going past them. And all you're gonna do is just a few little lifts of the rod tip, and then wind in that slack and let it sit back down for about 5 or 10 seconds. Now, the idea is what you're doing is you're imitating some sort of wounded bait fish or prawn that's fleeting off the bottom. And again, you just wait a little bit of a lift, wind in that slack, and it's a very simple process that you can repeat all the way back to your boat or your kayak. And doing that, you're gonna catch lots of flatties. Yep. There we go. They always swim underneath. Oh, there we go. And that's it. Just wait patiently. Wait until you feel a little bit of weight on the end of that line. And there you go, there's another flathead. This way, so let's go this way this time and see which way they swim. Yeah, so they always naturally swim that way. There you go, funny. All right, let's do all our releases this way. Oh, there we go. Come on. Yep. That's the perfect eating size, and there you can see in his gob, he's got that new TPE flatedge 80. So these soft plastics work an absolute treat. Obviously they mimic a flathead really well, so the colors and, you know, these fish are very, very much cannibalistic, but that is a beautiful flatty there. You could feel the weight difference straight away, and they just pin in the side of the lip there, which is absolutely perfect. And it's right on slack tide at the moment, so it's really strange fishing conditions, a little bit foggy out here, it's quite cold, the jacket's on and off. I'm just fishing over the sandy flats today, so this is the area where the flatties love to reside. And what they'll do is they'll just sit on that bottom. Obviously they camouflage incredibly well, and you know, they can be a lazy and a sluggish fish, and they're just waiting for some food just to swim past for an easy meal. And I think we might be getting one here. Yeah, we are. Here we go. That's just frantic. They're just everywhere. It's stretchy. He's keen to go. Look at him go. Oh, there we go. That's a good bite. Straight on the drop. Yep. Oh, geez, that took 1 second. There's another one there. Get you on your way. Off you go, mate. Oh, you're going to go under the yak as well. Fair enough. Oh, man, 3 big flatties followed that up. Well, there you go. So he's 35 centimeters. Again, still a little bit on the smaller side, so we're going to let him go. I really want the ones around that 40 centimeter mark. So, and there you go, matey. Beautiful, hey? Off he goes. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. That's a better hit. Oh, I reckon this is a slightly better fish, this one. Yeah, it's good. There we go. All right, so these are the soft plastics there, guys. That's how they come packaged. So, and you can see that is from On the Edge Lures. So Jason's been doing a little bit of work, obviously getting this design and then changing it into a TPE material, so they've got a bit more durability. And yeah, it definitely is a bit of a unique product on the market. And you know, it's something a little bit gimmicky, but you know, as you can see, they clearly catch a lot of flatties. I've got no doubt as well they'd probably catch pinky snapper and Australian salmon and bream and all sorts of stuff. Oh, that's getting a bite. Yep, that's getting a bite. There we go. So they've switched back on. On your way, easy matey, I know you want to go. Ooh, he's very keen to go. Get that there. And let's get these ones back in because it's pretty mental at the moment. So we'll just cast that one there. Oh, there's a good one. Oh, this one was just sitting on it. That's incredible. And that rod's on as well. So we're getting like double hookups galore now. Oh, there we go. Double. Yep. Oh, this is insane. He's a little bit bigger. This is just madness. Can't keep a rod in the water. So we've got 1 flathead and 2 flathead. Try and get these ones back on their way as quick as we can. You can swim off and then we're going to attend to you. Let's get this one out first. Oh, actually. Oh no, I think he feels okay. Yeah, it's a better one. All right. Yeah, come on. Be a little bit bigger, would ya? All right, and there is another. Look at that on the little plastic there. Oop, there's a bite straight away. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yep. Here's one of the little ones again. Oh, he's not that little. There we go. He swims off. And once again, you can see they're just spitting these out constantly. So obviously there's a lot of crabs and yabbies and stuff like that down here. So if you wanted to come down these areas with some crab and yabby imitations, I reckon you'd catch plenty. Yep, yep. Yeah, now that the water's clear, they're just hammering it on the drop. Now as a kayaker, guys, just make sure if you do come out fishing on your own, you really do know the capability of your vessel. Make sure you got all the safety equipment with you. Make sure people know where you are. Also make sure you know how to get back on your kayak if you ever tipped or something went wrong. I know for me, I've got a step ladder at the back of my kayak. I've got a rope to help me flip it back over. I've got a marine radio. I've obviously got life jacket. I've also got one of the most stable kayaks on the market. The other thing that I do is I study the conditions so much before going out on every single session, and I don't just check those conditions at the start of the week, I just keep checking over and over again. Yeah, I think this is a better one. Yeah, he's not too bad. Well, that's a wrap, everyone, and wasn't that completely mental? The amount of flathead we caught was just incredible. I lost count there of how many, but it was easily over 50, and it was amazing how many times when you're bringing one in, there'd be 2 or 3 other flathead following it. So the volumes were just unbelievable. I guess the only thing that was a little bit frustrating was the size of them today, where 80% of them were probably between 27 and 35 centimeters, which is a bit on the smaller side. I've got 5 in the esky that I'm going to take home, which are between 42 and 48 centimeters. So we did end up getting a really nice feed, but we had to work really hard for it. But it was just so much fun because it was buckles galore. There were constant double hookups, and it's great to come out here during the colder climate and just get stuck into some awesome fish. So a couple of takeaways that might be helpful for you. So today, Port Phillip Bay, just fishing around the Werribee area. We got the vast majority of our catches between 5 and 6 meters deep. We never anchored, always on the drift. And what we're doing is we're really using our sounder. And that's not to mark up arches, but it's just to keep an eye out for bait balls. But more importantly is to mark waypoints when you catch and to set drift lines. And that way, you're spending all of your time fishing in those really productive zones where you know the fish are holding. And that's absolutely critical. So we were able to pretty early on kind of map out where they were holding. We covered a lot of ground, and then you mark a few key waypoints and you go, all right, we know they're holding in these areas, and there was huge volumes in there. So it's a bit strange out here today. It was like 3 seasons in one. It was freezing in the morning, it was foggy, it was windy, it was a little bit choppy, and then throughout the day those conditions got just a little bit better. The other takeaway, I guess, was just how durable those soft plastics were. So the original 2 soft plastics that I tied on in the morning on the beach when I was doing the intro, they're still the same ones that I've got tied on. So very, very durable. That stretchy TPE material, I mean, that's what's great about it. It's very lifelike, but it's very durable. I mean, usually if I'm out here using things like turtlebacks and we caught that many flathead, you can only imagine how many packets of soft plastics we would have gone through. But today it was great. Really didn't go through that much gear, which was awesome. And clearly they work because we caught so many of them. I don't think the sizes really matter. It's just a case of coming out here and proving that you can catch the target species and get them in good numbers, and we did get the odd good size one. So if you want to know more about those TPE flat edge 80s, then hit up Jason at On The Edge Lures. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to answer your emails and inquiries. But it's been a really fun day out here. As I said, it's getting colder now. That water temperature has really dipped, and to be able to come out and just have buckles galore and catch a heap of fish, it's what it's all about. Love coming out, and there's always something that you can target, and sticking local and getting stuck into a few